Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video update for Wednesday, October the 9th. And we had a pretty nice day today. We got a nice turnaround from yesterday's sell-off. This is the S&P. We'll start there and take a look at everything. And one thing that I wanted to show you guys was that, let me back this out a little bit. This is kind of crazy on the ticks. This NYSE ticks. We started out today with a plus 1,579 tick. That's pretty strong. I mean, anything over 1,000 or up to 1,000 is that's pretty heavy. At 1,000, that was 1,579, and then we got a sell-off here. We went to negative 1182. All during the same day, and that's really kind of what we've been doing lately is having these wild, crazy swings. Yesterday we were all over the place. Big sell-off, big rip higher, big slam down into the close. 28.92, and today we hit 29.21, or excuse me, 29, and then failed. This was on news, and what happens, we know that the algorithms pick up on on these news tweets, news, anything like that. That's when you get these long, the one-liners that are really long. This is news driven, and the algos come in and and just pound it. And because retail traders, we can't move that fast, and we can't move that much volume. So the algos come in there and they just make our life much harder in the trading world, right? So, I talked last week in the video last week, kind of where we had been, and it's really kind of crazy because last week when I did, let me do a 10-day. Okay, so last Wednesday is when I did the videos right here, and of course, we had come off this high. All the way down, that was 100 and something point drop, and at that point, we didn't know which way we're going to go. We thought probably a pretty decent chance to go this way, and we didn't know, and we ripped higher, and then again gave it back, and we're coming back up. So, this just is the continues to be the land of confusion trade. Hard to get on either side of it. Let me show you out here. This helps a little bit more to obviously look at it on a bigger, larger time frame. So if we look at this, and matter of fact, let me zoom this in a little bit. Let me do this. Okay, so we had all of this craziness here. You see these white lines? These are snow lines, voodoo snow lines. And we cut through there, and this held. So we sold off and rallied and sold off and rally and sold off and rally. And for you guys in the live trading room with me today, we were talking about, I switched gears actually yesterday and took off my shorts and hedges and all that kind of stuff and actually went long. And everybody said, "Why are you so bullish?" And I said, "I'm not really. It's not that I'm bullish. It's that I'm both." For example, in a market like this, you're bearish, you're bullish, you're bearish, you're bullish, you're bearish, you're bullish, and you have to be very fluid in your trading style, unless you want to get whipsawed pretty bad. Now, something like this is a lot more, looking back, is a lot more predictable. You get short, and you short on the rallies, and you just keep short until it doesn't work anymore. And then here, you just buy the dips, and it just keeps going, right? This, no. That's yet to be determined. We don't know. But what we do know is that we are once again in a very critical spot out here. You see this white line? That's 29.40. Again, we're on the SPX. So 29.40 has always been a very critical level here for us. It is obviously overhead resistance above us right now. I think we have a pretty good chance to get at least to this by Friday, maybe break through. But what we need to look at is, let me get this, draw this, is this there's a couple of ways to look at this. Do we break through this, and start working our way up, or another very viable option is that we're in a downward channel because all these highs have been, sell the high, lower lows and lower highs. Then this comes back down, and then we start doing one of these things and keep working our way back down, right? Ultimately. And the problem is we just don't know. I will say this: technically the market looks weak. It looks bearish. I don't like the chart. Does not look good. I think we could easily roll over and yes, absolutely head to some of these lower levels. Probably with a first stop here. If we breach that, probably next stop's here. Maybe it takes a little while, or maybe we do some of this chopping kind of stuff here, or preferably up here. We get through this, hit 3,000, and then start this thing over again. But we don't know. But again, what happened yesterday on the flush down? Let me do this again. 5-day chart. So I had some shorts, or I had a hedge on the downside. I had some shorts as well on this flush down from 29.60 all the way down here. You notice we hit this snow line, or excuse me, skyline right here. On this flush down, I closed a big hedge butterfly that I've had on for a little while, and it worked fine. Made some money, and then I actually went long and did a call butterfly on the upside up here for a little bit further out in time. And the reason I did that, one, I don't have a lot of risk on the downside left, so there's not a reason to really have a big hedge on the downside if you don't have much exposure to the downside, right? The other thing too is we are in a news-driven market right now. First and foremost, all the levels we can look at, all the charts and everything, yes, they matter, but at the same time, they don't matter as tweets come out and news and agreements on this or whatever happen with China and so forth. That is in the spotlight right now, and that is what is driving us. So we need to continue to be nimble, but we know that they're working on trade negotiations right now. If we get any news at all, I think we go higher. I think we take that out, maybe 29.50 by Friday. I'd like to see even higher. That'd be great. I don't know that we do. The expected move is about 40 points, so that still puts us, up in this area somewhere. So we'll see. I'm still absolutely going to be, as we do, if we do go higher, and the only reason I think we do go higher again is on news driven. We've got China, probably good news from China, or some kind of news from China that's at least positive, comes out in the next couple of days, and or next week, and we got earnings starting next week with the banks, and we'll start getting an idea of the earnings next week, right? And then 2 weeks after that, we have Fed. We had FOMC minutes today, and we saw a lot of mixed, kind of back and forth between the Fed chairs, but pretty good chance that we'll see another rate cut or whatever. A lot depends on data that comes in over the next couple of weeks as well. So anyway, there are several possibilities for us to get some positive news that drives us up higher in the short term. Don't be surprised if that's faded and sold, and I will be hedging it as we go if that happens. That's my preferred case. The other case is we get bad news and we just roll over, and then we kind of go back to square one trying to figure out how low is low over here, right? So all that being said, we just need to wait on the news and wait and watch and be nimble. And if you're not hedged and you have exposure on the downside, definitely hedge and protect yourself on the downside in the event we go down, but do not get too overhedged, because good news can send us up pretty quickly with short covering. So don't just look at this and go, oh, this market looks terrible and I'm getting short 100%. Don't do that, because we can have a rip higher, and I think we will. So be prepared for that. and be nimble when it happens. So that's what I got for today. Again, we're kind of in limbo, just kind of waiting, and I think we'll definitely see some action in the next. I mean, this is October after all, so we should expect some swings, and I would expect probably swings in both ways, and maybe even more violent ones. So anyway, I hope this helps. Cash is a position, so be nimble, trade light. I'm trading very light, much lighter size than normal, and just be again, try to be fluid in your trades, right? So I hope this makes sense. Hope that helps, and I will see you guys at the next update. Thanks.